maybe every 2 weeks, every 30 days, the PSP will come and carry the waste. At the end of the month, you pay them. It's simple. One, we must know that burning waste is not acceptable because it affects the ozone layer. We must know that. So it's not accepted. And the state government dump site or the capital territory dump site for waste, not everybody, in fact, we are not allowed to go there except the PSP, who will come and collect our waste. But I don't know why people refuse to cooperate in guarding their waste. You see people eating and drinking, pouring all sorts of manner inside the drains. They will gather their dirty, tie it, give it to their children, especially when it's raining, go and drop it at the tarred road or by the roadside. Drop inside the drain. A heavy erosion will come and move it away. Are you the erosion? So our people attitude towards waste management is very, very uncalled for. It's ugly. It's very bad. For me, for one, I don't appreciate it. I don't like it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ejakobi. Okay, that's your opinion, okay, which is, of course, generally the norm, around here. Because if everybody takes responsibility, okay, fine, you bring your waste, you dump it in the drains for the floor to carry it away, okay? I bring my own, we dump. Everyone brings their own, living irresponsibly. Fine, at some point, it's going to, get blocked somewhere. And what happens?
Community overflow.
Becomes, flooded and everything, pulls back on the road. So at the end of the day, it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. So that is part of the irresponsibility of our people. Okay, could it be that, the government is not bringing down the hammer hard enough? Because if you go to a place like Onitsha, at least I was there some weeks ago, and I found that people were being, accosted, in fact, arrested, just for dropping pure water, on the road, and they were made to, pay heavy fines.
Yeah, 15,000.
Yes, made to pay very heavy fines. In some cases, the people are manhandled. So could it be that people respond, better to those kind of harsh treatment? You say when you do that, you say the government is very harsh. The government is not friendly with people. The party is not friendly or whatever. So, what do you think? What are the measures you think that should be put in place so that it doesn't seem as if you're being too hard on the people at the same time? Because for what I think, people respond, or rather the black people, Nigerians, I don't know, respond better when you are, a bit hard on them.
Okay.
If that's your opinion.
Let me start by saying that the government policy is not harsh enough.
Okay. That's coming from
the government policy is not harsh enough. You see the Anambra example. It's simple. You urinate anyhow. If you are caught, you pay a fine. If you say you don't have it, they keep you somewhere for like a week or two. By the time you come out, you must have learned your lesson. 1 or 2 persons in your neighborhood that will get to know that Uncle has been missing for 2 weeks, so Anambra government kept Uncle somewhere because he urinated somewhere.
And it's not able to pay the fine.
It's not able to pay the fine. They will learn. Until went to Onitsha market or to any part of Anambra, even in their village, in Anambra, and you, after drinking your sachet of water or a bottle of water, you just throw it.
Or eating anything.
Or you ate biscuit or gala, or you ate mango or corn, or anything dead. You just throw it through the window of your car or the window of your keke. If you are caught, you pay 15,000. If you don't have it, they keep you somewhere for like 1 or 2 weeks. So everybody are aware. If of a truth we want to get it right, the government must be harsh. It's painful that when the government tries to be harsh, we now see the government as wicked.
The last dispensation, the government was a bit harsh.
You understand me now?
And the people didn't find it funny.
They cannot find it funny because they are not prepared for let me say, they are not prepared for progress.
Be disciplined.
Or they are not prepared to be disciplined. Because if you want a better thing, you have to work it out. I want Nigeria to be like US, to be like Canada, to be like UK. Yes. They have policies.
You can see what is happening now. That's what's happening now. someone is building and then uses the road, to mix cement and all everything. Those things should, on a good day, be in their compound, should be contained in the premises where the building is taking place.
Some of these things you are seeing, they are not just doing it on their own. One, there are some community where they take kind of permission from the community elders or community leaders. They issue a receipt for them.
Okay.
Sometimes you see people doing party along the road. Some of them go as far as going to the local government council to collect permission. They call it permission.
The youth leader. I can see the youth leader there, along with the task force of Delta State Capital Territory. So you can see that for the youth leader, this is Okpanam. So for the youth leader to be there, cautioning the person shows that they haven't taken any permission. You understand? And so the reports got to them, So the staff, the task force of the Delta State Capital Territory, they came here.
Sometimes I swear, it's also possible that because the person didn't comply to their permission pattern, they not showed up. You understand? Because they have a way of this community people, they have a way of doing things. If you fail to comply, it's like we have a deal, and we are sharing 50-50. And later I say, no, you are taking 30, I'm taking 70. You say, okay, now I will bust your cable. They have a way of doing their things. If it doesn't work with them, they bust your cable.
Anyway, this is a very, very popular occurrence,
yes.
Even in Asaba.
Now, let me come back to Asaba, or come back to Delta State, or the Capital Territory. If we decide to put our waste in the drains, we should expect a fraudulent society.
Of course, yes.
You understand me now? And if we must sit well, that this issue of small rain fair, and before you know, the whole place is messed up. People throwing dirty anyhow. The government has to put in some good policies with good enforcement. You see the way they are following up with the keke tricycle enforcement. The government has to wake up. For example, you go to Koka in Asabaya, you go to Koka, that flyover. On top of the flyover, there are feces. People, they shit inside. People remove their dirty from their houses, driving in their vehicle. On top of the flyover, they will drop the dirty there. It is not healthy for the society. It doesn't present us to the world as a better place. And the state government is doing its best to have a cleaner environment.
That is before. Right now, we have a very serious, task force that just goes
day and night.
Yes, and they've apprehended some people. Some weeks ago, we didn't show, but we talked about it. A young boy of 14 that was apprehended early hours of the morning. I think that was around 4 a.m. when he was going to dump, his waste in an illegal place. So he was apprehended and of course arrested. And of course, is the parents.
Look at the Okpanam side now. Since they brought in that street light, the issue of dropping waste around the Okpanam road has stopped finally. I've not seen any. You understand?
The street lights,
and the street light helped a lot. Then our drains. We cannot continue to wait for the state government or local government before cleaning our drains. As landlords, as a tenant, we have been able to raise funds to put gates everywhere in Asaba for security sake. Why don't we take it upon ourselves to also clean our drains?
It's a terrible thing.
So I think there's need for the government of the day to have a better synergy with landlord association.
It's doing that. The Delta State Capital Territory Development Agency is doing
a better synergy with landlord association. I tell them, clean your environment. But it's simple. You can tell them, you as people who lives in the environment, bring the waste out. For example, DBS Road, Asaba. The Delta State government truck will be at DBS Road on Monday. On Monday will be like 26. On Monday 26, between the hour of 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. On arrival, it's expected that all the waste in DBS Road are out.
Okay, you can see what's happening there now. Part of what we're talking about, societal sanitation.
Okay.
If you see what's happening here, this is Interbell, yeah.
Okay.
You see what's happening here. Full-grown men, who have decided that this is their house. So this is a good Samaritan.
that is honorable. Yes. Okay. Who is the chairman?
He was just driving past, He was just driving past when he saw them, and he was like asking them, "What are you doing here?" You live here. Where are you from? This one says it's from Imo State. This one says it's from Ebonyi. This says it's from Cotonou.
And these are miscreants.
They are miscreants.
Miscreants.
Okay. How can able-bodied men like this, okay, during work hour, you are just loitering around, sleeping in a place the government has spent so much.
Let me thank Idawani for this kind gesture. You see, we'll be talking about these things in different platforms, even since the days of Okowa, and the thing is not working. But I want to believe it's working now with this idea of bringing a protector. But despite the protector,
yes, they were able to still find anything.
Yes, despite the protector, they still jump. Yes,
they jumped in.
They jump. Like for example, if you go to Coca, that Coca around 1 a.m., you see like 4,000 boys. I don't know where they're coming from. I'm not saying 1,000. I mean 4,000.
Okay, you have the staff of Delta State Capital Territory here. You trying to dislodge them.
In prohibiting this act,
this is really terrible.
Or in stopping this act, I think it's imperative that the communities, for example, Asaba community has to be involved. You can't leave everything for the government.
The Asaba community has to be involved.
The Asaba Youth Council, the community Asaba Youth Council has to wake up.
Okay, look at what this gentleman did just now. He was driving. He was on his way somewhere, and he had to stop, to address that issue. And he put a call across to the DG of the Delta State Capital Territory, and he mobilized the task force.
I used to see the way Okpanam youths respond to issues sometimes.
Exactly.
Sometimes I remember when it was announced that scavengers should be stopped, and some of them were trying to force their way to the system. Okpanam youth didn't take it lightly. Since the government has ordered, they followed up. You understand? Yes. I also expect the Asaba side to reciprocate.
This is very wrong because these people now, I bet you they might not have an NIN.
Some of them they
don't have where they live.
Okotonu.
Yeah, they don't have where they live. So if this person commits a crime now, how are you going to apprehend him?
Okotonu is Benin Republic.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes. How are you going to apprehend this person now?
Niger.
He's faceless.
No NIN, no BVN, no voter card.
And you are sleeping during the day. So what will you be doing at night?
These are the kind of people that bust people tires or lose people tires. Rape people, snatch bag.
Yes,
you see, these are some of the reasons why they around that summit to DLA. They said Keke should not be plying it in the day. Because there's so much snatching bag, something is missing. You understand? That's why the former DG of the Capital Territory now said, let's do it this way. And since then, the area has become. You see, this issue of miscreant is serious. Even as we're talking now, if you go to around this DBS road, from Elumas to Second Base to Empire to Donna Master to Summit, then you go to Itabua, then you go to the Coca side, you go to Ibuzo Joshua by Nebisi, you see all these miscreants everywhere. Then in the day, you see some of them coming around Asaba to the home of beggars. We cannot continue like this. If you want to stay in Delta State, we want to see you as our neighbor. It is imperative that everybody get a house. Go and rent a house.
Know your neighbor.
No operation, know your neighbor.
Rent a place.
So I want to encourage the government has to wake up.
The government is trying, is doing their best, Like
they are doing their best, but their best is not enough.
No. Individuals have to also chip in. Look at what that man did just now.
If the government,
he had to stop. If you and I do the same, wherever you see that, like this iron condemned people, they've been banned, in the Capital Territory. Fine. Anywhere I see them, I take it upon myself to stop and tell them, what are you doing here? You have been banned. Why are you still doing this? You understand?
Let me shift you. Let me shift you something. The the scavengers or the iron, so to say, the banning was not documented. Let me use that word. It's just a verbal talk. An issue of this nature, there's supposed to be a bylaw. There's supposed to be a bylaw. You make it a law from the House of Assembly. Even the government of the state, the House of Assembly also made a law some time ago, where they said anyone found destroying government property should be arrested and prosecuted. Up to the people are still destroying government properties. Recently, I went to Itabua. That's Itabua, as the side of the ShopRite. I saw him. I don't know if he's a madman.
Sorry, before you continue, please, we would like to have on the screen phone numbers that people can, call or send videos, or send messages, so that if you catch anyone doing any of these things, that have been banned, you could send us a message on these numbers on the screen. We'll have there'll be quick response, I can assure you. Okay.
See, it is not the duty of the governor or the DG actually to do some of these things. It's just for them to give order. Then their agents will follow up to the latter. Yeah. That's why
which is what happens. Yeah.
I always make reference to this keke task force enforcement. The job is.
Kudos to.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when you have that kind of system in place, recently the House of Assembly Environment, Oil and Gas Committee did a public hearing. I was privileged to submit some suggestions. As I tried to talk to them, they said no, this is what they want. This one, they don't want this one. You understand me now? For example, in one of my suggestions, I said, if I'm driving a keke and my passenger drop anything deaths, the passenger should not be held responsible. The driver should be held responsible.
Yes.
In other words,
that's what
when the enforcement is there, as you are entering the keke, the driver will tell you,
yes,
please, if you are eating, give me the waste, give me the deaths, or put it in this basket. You understand me now? Before you know, in 1, 2, 3 months, everybody will balance that this is the pattern. You understand me now? Then, the people that are also sweeping, these are street sweepers, street cleaners, all these mama, these women that sweep the streets, they are not helping us. And it's because the government did not provide alternative for them. All the waste, all the deaths, all the sand they are sweeping, they all fall back to the drains. You understand me now? So I suggested in that document that the government should put in place drums or buta, at least every 5 pole with the state blue and white color. So when they sweep, they'll put it inside. They also suggested that the government should create a system where we can have public toilets along major areas. So this issue of urinating anyhow, defecating anyhow, can be stopped. So when you are caught, you understand? When you go to the public toilet, you pay like 100 naira.
Yes.
Because people are there to clean the place.
To generate revenue.
You understand? There's so much money in waste.
Okay. I'm glad to tell you that this is in the pipeline. I'm aware that this is in the pipeline. So, as time goes on, we'll begin to see these things unfold.
I will be happy.
Within the
I'll be happy.
Delta Capital. I want to say thank you very much for your contributions tonight, Mr.
Thank you.
Ejakobi. Well, I believe we've learned a thing or two. So, societal sanitation is
important.
Is a reality. It's a real big deal. We have to learn to be disciplined. A grown man cannot just go out there and sleep on the streets. You must
it's not accepted.
Take responsibility, get a place,
let them introduce.
Have a base, where you have rented, so that if there's anything, people can trace you to that location. It's not going to, business as usual, that you just take the roundabouts that government has spent so much money on and make it your house, your home. It's not going to be possible. The government is going to clamp down seriously on you. And we expect those of you who are still trashing your waste in illegal places to please desist from it. Because if you are caught, it's not going to be
business
funny.
As usual.
Yes, it's not going to be funny. And those of you who are fond of eating things and drinking and dropping them, throwing them out of your vehicles or keke or anything, if you are caught, you're going to pay a very huge fine. And if you cannot afford to pay that fine, you're going to be remanded. Prison, at least for some days. So we would like to draw the curtain here. I want to say thank you for taking out time to come on the program and listen. So till we meet next week, same time. Bye for now. Hey,
inhabitants when they do business or stay for Delta Capital Territory, open your ear well. The agency mobile call don't begin catch people when they throw away dirty and yama for road and inside gutter. Our inspection team them don't begin move from house to house to catch people when they dirty their environment. The agency, they call on residents and those when they use the state capital as their hustle ground to keep the area secure, clean,